and welcome to the Real Shift Show. We are your co-hosts. I am Anna Crowe.
I'm Katy Temple.
And the Real Shift Show is a space that Katy and I created for some extraordinary humans to hear their stories of reinvention, stories of change, people who have made success throughout their lives, but not the easy way, not as easy as one would think by looking at their Instagram or their company size.
The shifts are all behind the scenes.
Correct.
And we have an extraordinary human with us today, someone who has been featured on the Today Show, in Forbes a lot, in Vogue a lot, and many other publications. Celebrities like Nicole Kidman, Demi Moore, Kate Upton, Amy Schumer love and wear her clothes. She is talented. She is full of joy. She founded a multi-million-dollar brand. Her name is Ripley Rader. Aww. And we are so joyful to have you.
Oh, thank you so much. You know, it's funny. We have in our office, our mantra is fierce joy. So this lines right up. Yes, I am honored.
Fierce joy.
Fierce joy. Describes a woman to nothing's fiercer than a mother. And I would argue nothing is much more joyful than a woman. So at her best, at her strongest. So that's what it's about.
And we will talk about how you've incorporated all that love into your clothing line. But first, you've done a lot of interviews and you've been doing it for a while. You hear that you're going to be joining Anna and me for the Real Shift Show. When you think of the word shift, considering your life, what comes to mind?
You know, this is a story that has been told, but I think here's an opportunity to talk about it a little bit more personally. But I always say we were 10 years in an overnight success. So we were the little engine that could, for the first 10 years of the business, we couldn't get arrested. I mean, like no one, like a couple people wore us. We were like, please, someone love us, you know. And, but enough people, enough stores got it. And we just plugged along. We decided to not take any investors or anything. So we own 100% of the company still. My husband and I do. And because of that, we were able to make really thoughtful choices, which created a house built on rock. The biggest shift was me stepping in front of the camera. And so I became the face of the company at that point.
On that shift, one thing that you've learned about stepping into the spotlight?
Like somebody said this the other day, and I don't know who it was, but embrace the cringe. I embrace and I speak to the vulnerability, and as Brene Brown says, like the emotional hangover or whatever that is. I recognize that it takes a lot out of you to put, I think so often founders and people in the spotlight, from an outside perspective, people think that it's all about you wanting the limelight and all this stuff. And what I think the larger thing for me is that, no, I just want to get my mission out there differently, my brand out there differently, and I can speak to it better than anyone else. And there is real sacrifice with that. There is real like vulnerability, and there's, and the crashes that happen after that, like in the nervousness, and that's what my biggest lesson is, like sitting in the discomfort of being vulnerable, and speaking to it, because we've all been there on whatever level. But
and that makes you human.
Yeah. What a concept.
No, but from a branding standpoint, it humanized your brand too, right? You were able to connect, educate, inspire, and do all the things that it's often hard to communicate through product.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I really listened to what my clients were wanting. They were wanting real connection. So then we started having these like communications via social media. How wonderful. I started creating product that answered their calls, and we're continuing to do that now. And so it became this real community with the brand.
It's amazing. I think embrace the cringe should be bumper stickers.
I love it.
Isn't that brilliant? I forget, it was someone who said it, someone who's on camera a lot. And I'm
sure it wasn't one of your Gen Zers, but
interestingly, it was an older, or my age, I'm 45. So it was like an older woman who said it, who's on camera, maybe Jenna Lyons. I'm not sure who it was. Somebody I found really inspirational. And the best thing is my Gen Zs who like run our company, I believe they are incredible for me, incredible workers and incredible, like they see things so beautifully. They're the first to go, you think this is cringe? We think this is fabulous. Let's go. You know, they have a different relationship with that because they've grown up in that world, and we haven't.
Well, we're used to doing the work, not talking about it all the time.
Yeah. And I mean, I have to say, my Gen Zs do all the work, and they're on camera. I use them; they're amazing, thank God. But I do think there's that thing of like, they have a different relationship with vulnerability and being on camera and all of this stuff, and so. Also, when it's something that means so much to you, like it's personal to me. My business is personal. People say it's not personal, it's business. I don't know what's more personal than your business. You know?
Considering what you're doing, when you think about how you want to make women feel, that's personal.
Yes. And you know, you can live at the surface or you can go deep with fashion. And the thing is, fashion, clothing is the great equalizer. You have the brand new mother whose body is changing and constantly moving. You have the CEO, you have the intern who's getting her first job. We all want to feel armored up, strong, and powerful. And comfortable, so we can like eat and not get like a UTI because of a compression band or something like that.
Been there, done that.
Yes, I mean that's the thing. I think I don't believe that we're talking about it enough. Like that, what you wear is a big deal in how you walk through the world, and so that's why I think talking about this, you know, it's great. It gets juicy.
It does get juicy because you think about sometimes there's companies like Spanx and Skims and other things because we're thinking about how we're going to prepare for whatever we're going to do, whether it be networking or personal or dinner. And we feel good and look good walking out the door. But what's going to happen a couple hours later when we've had something to drink, some food? How are we going to feel? Is it going to be comfortable? And you've thought about all of these.
Well, I think we have a hat that we launched that says take up space. I have no desire to make women smaller. Zero. And so my clothes embrace curves. I think I want from a young age to teach women that they are allowed to take up space, both energetically and physically, unapologetically. And so for me, yes, it's interesting because my clothes are very, very flattering and everyone looks like a million miles tall and gorgeous. But we love curves. And I'm not here. I don't understand why we're celebrating, you know, boobs and butts, but we're not celebrating like a little tummy, which probably created life. I don't understand. Like that just seems, that's not a narrative if women were writing the narrative that we would live in, but we haven't written the narrative. So we're only celebrating certain curves, but not all curves. I don't believe in that. So at Ripley Rader, we're taking up space. And I hope that when you wear, that's why the pants are this wide at the bottom. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't intend to shrink in a corner, and I don't want my women to either.
You are writing the narrative.
Yes, we are for our company and hopefully our legacy. I think that that the women are, someone said, what's your demographic? I was like 18 to 80. Like my mom wears, she's 75. She was the face of fall, winter 24, or fall, winter 25, excuse me. And then we got on Revolve because the head of fashion for Revolve was at a dinner with this 50-year-old woman in exactly my outfit, turtleneck and pants. And 2 days later, they were in another dinner and an 18 or 20-year-old shows up and she was wearing the same thing. And they were like, what is this? Because we all want to feel the same.
And that's true. Another thing too, when you think about the common insecurities or issues of women as we're growing older, I can speak for myself, is that I don't
grow older.
Yeah. She doesn't, clearly. But, you know, I don't want to wear things that make me look like I'm trying to look young. And you're getting rid of all that
We cut it back because good is good.
Good is
I don't
good.
care if and you'll style it the way you want to style it. Like I love when my like young women show up and they're wearing our high waist pant, our classic pant with like a bra top because it's a fashion office. We want them to totally express themselves. And they look so fabulous that you're like, oh my gosh, I'm not currently wearing that, but you look, thank goodness. And then you go in and I look at my mother who will wear the cropped pant because she's petite, or the standard pant, which is a normal length, and I wear the long, and a blazer, a little fitted bolero blazer. I mean, we dress, but good is good. And so the base, we just want to create a closet that you're sort of set for life. And then if you want to throw in your beaded bandeau top or like whatever thing, you can put that on top of it.
Good is good. Another
Good
bumper
is
sticker.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you've talked about your mom twice. Let's give her some love.
And she's the OG creator. I mean, she was, my absolute inspiration. I come from a long line of creative women. My grandmother taught me how to sew. My mother was an artist who made a business out of it. She's an interior designer. I think when you come, and my sister is one of the leading women, she's getting her PhD at Duke right now for women's health, but is the best cook I have ever, and her home is like, she can sew. She's actually an incredible seamstress. So my legacy is to continue that creativity. And I've been lucky enough to be able to monetize that and hopefully inspire creativity and courage to start something else for someone else. That's a goal.
Well, and speaking of your legacy, you started early on. You said you were maybe 10 years old with a sewing machine.
Yeah, that was it. I
Tell us that
started
part.
sewing at 10. And then, or like in West Virginia, my grandmother taught me how to sew. We were sewing together at 10. At 13, I was pretty much sewing most of the stuff on my own. At 15, I was selling it. And then, but I was always going to be a Broadway dancer and singer. So that was always my focus. I sewed for fun.
What did you love about sewing?
Because I love quiet time. I'm like a crazy extroverted introvert or whatever. How do you fill your reserves? And for me, my mother coined it creative alone time. So I would just spend hours on a sewing machine. And even now, like when we're making a collection, I don't sketch. So I can see it. I can see the fabric and I can see the piece. And then I can make it happen. In my head, I can do it. And so that was just such an incredible thing for me. And I've always had it since I was very, very young.
So it's almost meditational.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's really, I don't get to sew a lot now because I'm busy with this company. But when I do, it's like, oh, it's heaven. I recently made, I stayed late one night and at the office and made this pattern for my head of brand for an event she was going to. It's an insane dress. And I thought, oh, I just love this. I've really, at the root of it all, I love what I'm doing. And then you look at this, what I would consider my little personal empire, and all the jobs we're giving to people. I think about the culture of the office, all of this. And you're like, this is rad. Like you can rewrite corporate. You can rewrite what corporate looks like to you as we grow. People are like, well, when you get big, you're going to go here. It's like, well, we're big. Like we're doing huge numbers. So it's like, no, we can do it the way we want to do it.
And you're an entrepreneur. And you were an entrepreneur young, though. You're an entrepreneur now, which we want to talk about because it's such a big journey. But you were selling.
It's funny. I think that we're just like nutso people. I think we like to be in misery. I think you're an entrepreneur or you're not. Like my mother said to me, I can't believe you're going into the business because they did home design and furniture reupholstery after watching us be in business. Like I can't believe you'd want that. I was like, I can't help it. I can't help. It's like not being able to help who you love. Like you just love that person or that thing. And I love business. I love building it. I love creating. I love providing, answering the call. So yeah, I can't run. I tried to run from it. I was an actor for many, many years.
So that's a shift. So
Yes.
I hear you. You light up talking about business. I can absolutely relate.
That's how this one is.
Yeah.
And I was like, can you slow down? I'm like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
And you have a theatrical background. You went to NYU.
I did.
You
I did.
performed.
I did.
So Give us a little overview of that shift and how that contributed to your even entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really connected. I think I loved to sing and dance. I still do. I still take a dance class. Like after this, I'm driving all the way to Studio City so I can like take a class and then come back to my office. Like it's just
What kind of dance class were you?
like Broadway, like a Broadway leggy, all these like leggy ladies in their heels. And like and it's like Fosse Broadway.
Do we
kind of
want
thing.
to-
Yeah, just come.
Okay.
Just
Cancel
come.
the rest of the day.
Yeah, that's it. You guys are done.
Yes.
But
Right with that
it's so I love it now because I don't have to make money doing it, which is always more fun. I think I'll enjoy sewing once we sell the company and I can sew again. And it's like I don't have to, worry about monetizing it. But I loved singing and dancing, and it was really incredible for me. I was on tour with this Broadway show. I performed in this cult followed show in New York. I had a great
Talk about the
career.
show because it's a big one.
I toured with Joseph in the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, which was amazing in 2005 and 6. And then I moved to LA because I got an agent while I was performing out here. So I was like, oh, I'll move out. I'll give it a chance. And then when I moved to LA, the only singing and dancing you're really doing was the singing would get me back to New York so I was like on call to go back to New York at any time to go on Broadway. But the dancing is like in a bikini on a Cadillac in a rap video. Like that's what I was doing.
Slightly different from the Broadway stage.
Different. And I thought, I don't know if this is really. I was like, had to learn how to dance on a pole for a gig. And my mom goes, wow, our NYU education. That's really like, and so what happened was I then started making my own clothes again. I got my sewing machine out. I was not happy in what was sort of happening. I was still auditioning a lot, but I was making my own clothes. I wore a jumpsuit that I made to a concert. There was a buyer from Fred Siegel there. She's amazing. And she said, if you make this in America and you retail it for under $200, I will launch you at Fred Siegel.
That was it.
And that's my origin story. Like it's not made up. We were in Vegas. I had to leave early because I had to dance in a cage in a pool the next morning at 10 o'clock.
As one does.
Dressed up like a Victorian doll, as one does. And my husband sat until 1 a.m. with her because this was after a concert and they worked out the whole deal.
Wow.
Wild, right? And he had another job. He didn't join on to Ripley Rader until like 2 years in.
We need
2
to
or
see
3
a
years
photo
in.
of this jumpsuit. Will you send that to
Yes,
us?
yes, I will.
Perfect.
The classic. But it's funny because now we're just known for pants. But it was this jumpsuit, and then the company took off, and we hustled and hustled.
And how was that process for you to let the original dream go of singing and dancing, since that's what you really thought you wanted to do?
Yeah, you know what? I don't hold on to things. I believe in seasons of life. I don't believe one desire, dream is more important than another one. I think things present themselves when they're supposed to. So I don't mourn things.
And everything looks joyful.
I know, like we are a happy people. Like I don't know how to say it. Now, I'm not saying we don't it's not rainbows every day, but I do. The culture of the office is really, really important to me. And we are fierce. Like if on ecom days, I think we have 150 shots that we do in like 4 hours, maybe 6 hours. We are serious. I mean, it's like boom, boom, boom,
Get
boom,
it done.
boom. But then at the end, I mean, it's like, whoo, laying on the floor. And we're still dancing to Beyonce the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
There is that. You can't, art created out of misery is great to listen to. I love, who doesn't love a sad song? But when you're working with a crew and you're working with a model, like their best work is not going to be out of fear. It's not going to be, you have to create, I plan on leaving them better than I found them. And that I hopefully is the legacy that we have in our clients, in our people, our contractors, everything. Yeah.
You talk about joy, and before the show started, we were talking about authenticity and realness. So I want to shift gears a little bit, talk about you as a leader. You have a Substack now.
Yes.
Here I go boldly terrified.
Yeah,
How's
here
it?
I go boldly and terrified. Yeah.
So tell us about that and just your additional philosophies on leadership and just being a human and managing all of this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think being a woman in the world is like hard enough. It was funny. I walked in the door to this interview and we have this massive launch happening. Things things are just insane everywhere. And I walk in and I just looked down at my nails and I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't have time to do my nails before this thing. And totally slipped my mind. And I thought, you know what? Like, what woman doesn't understand? I'm like, wouldn't understand that. Also, this represents a small scale of you can do everything, just not at the same time. And so something is going to fall. Something is going to. And so for me, I think for when Ripley Rader was exploding, I would have been really hard on myself. I would have spun about it. And now that I got into therapy, which was amazing. And I think it's really important because I think this concept of founders or women in business being post-human, like I said earlier, there's not a lot of room for grace or with oneself and I think that I really had to get there and know that I am human as much as, and that came out of like a health scare from just being too stressed for too long chronically. And so for me, my way of leading is a little softer, I think, than it was before. It's a little bit because something will drop and then we have to be able to now laugh about it. Like it's that thing of going, you cannot do everything. I mean, I make comments all the time about how I was doing a speech recently and about walking in and like putting on my clothes as I was walking into the speech or almost missing it because like I hadn't peed all day and then I was peeing and they were like, you're being asked on stage. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, so I think that for me, my leadership has shifted. I think in the beginning it was like, rah, and I would, let's go. And like if I would scream and then I would have to bring them cookies the next day. Like one of my vendors, I'd be like arguing over 10 cents a yard or something, which, is important with the numbers we do. But to a point, one of these guys go, wow, you're intense. And I was like, it's not for anyone. Like you get more bees with honey, whatever. And so I have really shifted in my leadership, getting a little older, the company having a bit of success and also recognizing there are sacrifices that you're going to have to make. Like I chose not to have children. And I'm very lucky in that I chose that. It didn't present itself to me. I know there are a lot of challenges and it's so personal. But I knew I couldn't do both the way I wanted. And I was more called to do this and be the auntie and uncle, my husband and I. And it was always, my husband always put it it was always my decision, whether or not. And that's a real sacrifice.
Yeah.
And like I said, you can do it all. You just can't do it all at the same time. And with the support I had and with where we were with the business, I made the choice.
And the choice to not have kids, how often do you think about that?
Every day. Yeah, because for me, it wasn't I don't think, actually, I think about every day like that was a great choice, like for me now. But it was a complicated decision for me. It wasn't something that like, I had also waited a long time to make the decision. So it was, I was the best choice. And now it's definitely the best choice for me. But at 45, I'm like, whoo-hoo. But I think listening to it, recognizing you can still be sad about something that isn't for you, but was the best choice. And the thing is, I say mother in quotation marks because it's not at all what mothering actually is, but I get to mother in ways that, like I try to create space for all these young models who have come into LA, these young people who are starting their lives that don't have community and they come over for dinner. Like the amount of young people who have keys to my home, I don't even, like we have this roof deck where there's a ping pong table and constantly I'll be coming in, there'll be people playing, somebody's doing laundry, laying on the sofa, reading a book. I mean, we have like a hotel for young people. And it's a cool opportunity for me to mother to auntie. And that's carried through with my business as well. Like I'm obsessed with making sure everyone's like comfortable in our office. And like this morning we got this huge thing of tampons in the office just shipped. And I was like, we can all bleed freely now, y'all. Like this concept of caretaking. Clearly, we have a very feminist office.
No, but you're right. It looks very different. It can look so different.
Absolutely, yes, and we will.
Yeah.
Men can get the world, but we get our office, and the men in our office have signed up for that.
And who wants to run out of tampons?
Oh my gosh, isn't it the NASA thing where they gave 100 tampons for a woman going to space for 5 days? They didn't know, which I thought was so classic.
They were planning for the next one and the next one.
And I think they were just like literal astrophysicists who were like, I don't know how many tampons women use.
One question I have, and really this is for our viewers and listeners, you share some really great tips on how you've shifted. Talk about how you've shifted your mindset.
Yes.
And some tools. You said, you got a therapist. Sewing used to be a meditational act for you. How do you go about it today? What other tactics, rituals, tips, tools can you offer our audience that help you just shift sometimes throughout the day or shift seasons comfortably?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is truly a minute by minute thing. I think recognizing something will always come up. And knowing, for me, it's the going, you're going to be okay. Mm-hmm. Like, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. You might not get there. I'm obsessively early. And when I'm not, I get in my head sometimes, and just going, you will be fine. And if something happens with leadership, going, okay, you're going to have hard conversations today. And you'll be fine after them. That is the integration. I think embracing that integration, not making it separate of you or your own mental health. How can it still serve you to have these hard conversations, not deplete you, but integrate into your life? And that is the acceptance of it, of both existing. So as a leader, I think doing the walks, for me, exercise is a big thing. I find that if I don't move my body, I get in my head. So I move my body a lot. I laugh a lot. I see friends a lot. And then when I can, I try to be alone as much as possible. But with leadership, you have to give so much of yourself that refilling the well. And it's not often in like getting your nails done or something. It's the real stuff. It's the reading of the books that make you feel better. And that, Creative Act by Rick Rubin is something that I've been reading and rereading and rereading. Getting sort of Bibles like that for your life, I think is really, really important.
I like that tip of immediately when you feeling something's off or going, you're either shameful or embarrassed, and you just tell yourself, you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay.
Yes. And there's a way through it. That's it. And you might be bruised for a minute, and you might be empathizing with this hard conversation that you're having, and know that exists too. So what is it? Heavy is the head that wears the crown. Recognizing that you've chosen this and that both have to exist. And if you one without the other doesn't exist. So you have signed up for all of it. So then the acceptance of signing up for all of it, that has been the biggest shift of my life. Going, wait, I'm going to have the good and the bad today. I'm going to navigate all of this, and I'm not going to let it take from me. I have to let it expand me.
That's a beautiful way to say it. And you're right. Things don't always go up.
I wish.
Ways. And as long as we can understand, appreciate, and recognize that.
That's it.
That's why they say, the Dalai Lama says, don't get too high, don't get too low.
You just want to be of, they call it the resiliency zone in therapy. And I'm like, who doesn't want to live in the resiliency zone? Goals.
I like the resiliency zone.
So you can bounce back.
Yep.
Okay, I'll do two quick ones, just quick. Number one, biggest challenge that you've ever had in your life?
I mean, anything related to health. My biggest challenge in my life has nothing to do with my business or anything like that. I think, which is funny. I think that it relates to my business, but I've gotten some health scares that have been like, we're going to have to as a result of stress, compromised situation. And it was truly a result of stress and chronic fatigue and stress. And I thought, absolutely not. But it was the hardest thing I had to navigate as an adult, of course. That's been the hardest thing. But then you learn the resiliency zone, and then you go, okay, I'm going to get to another spot here. If I want, what got me there won't get me here.
Right.
It's another great book.
Yeah. Is that a book?
Yeah.
Marshall Goldsmith.
Oh,
Right? Yeah. Great book.
I love it. I've repeated it forever. I never knew it was a book. So this is great.
I like book titles sometimes. Get the idea.
You're done.
I got it.
You're done. That's it. That's all I need.
Okay, so that just means change what I'm doing. Got it.
Yeah.
Noted.
Yeah. Noted.
What brings you joy?
Oh my God. Life. I am like genuinely lit up I am a curious person. I am like lit up by life. I'm lit up by like courage. Women, courageous women light me up. And on all scales, doers light me up. People who are willing to stop talking and start doing. Those people at whatever age bring me the absolute most joy. Yeah. Like y'all. That's true.
This is a joyful room.
No, it is.
It really is.
It is. I'm
Amazing.
so grateful.
You are a joy bomb.
Oh my God. That's like the best compliment I think I've ever received.
Take it.
Thank you so much.
That's
Thank
another
you.
bumper sticker. I am a joy bomb.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
We're getting you a lot of follow.
I know. I got to get, now I need like all these
You
things.
need a different shop. You've
Yeah,
got this
dude.
shop and then a different shop.
That's it. Yes. Oh my gosh.
You know, I was reading about the one very funny viral moment that you had with one of my favorite testimonials, which I think is this skirt.
Is
right?
100%.
Share.
She said, I wear Ripley Rader when I want to get a job or get laid. Perfect. You know what it is too about that phrase? It is not about a job or getting laid, really. It's about stepping into the power that we have, the honest things that we want, which is feeling empowered and good in our clothes. So yes, it can be about jobs and sex, which we love. I love both of those things a lot. But really, it's about feeling like you could walk into a room and like command the room wherever you are. And that's what I think. I think that viral phrase is about that. And I think that's why it went viral. It really, really spoke to women about what not the actual thing, but how they want to feel.
Where can people buy your stuff?
Oh
I mean, I bought this online.
Yes, online. We're huge online. We're in Revolve, Shopbop, Newly. We are in boutiques across the country. I'm not in charge of wholesale, but I know we're in Madison and Brentwood. I know we're in quite a few boutiques in LA. And then, but if you go to our website, it says stockist. It'll have our stockist in every city. But I always say we're in the best boutiques in every town in America. Yeah. Feel very grateful for that.
I mean, it would be nice to go shopping.
Yeah, but also just come to my headquarters downtown and I can
That's a
fit
better
you.
idea.
Okay.
We're just down the street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah, and I
Anna's,
can fit you.
Anna's tall, so I know that she'll look good in those pants.
Pants.
I'm not tall. So what can women,
We-
can
We have
people
3 lengths of the pants. So we
Okay.
have a cropped,
Uh-huh.
we have a standard length, and we have a long. And so for a very long time, we only had a cropped and a long. And middle of January, we launched the standard pants. So now we have 3 lengths that will do well with a petite, and it's the same silhouette.
Okay.
A petite, average size height woman, and then a tall lady like us. And I always wear heels.
I always love turtlenecks.
Yay! I love it. I love it.
Amazing.
Yes. Thank
Wow.
you. Thank you,
Thank
ladies.
you.
To be in your company. It's really, thank you.
No, thank you. All good.
Yeah. It's
Retweet.
like
Retweet.
mutual admiration
Yes.
society here.
It's the joy circle.
Yeah.
Thank
you. Well, really, really beautiful conversation. We so appreciate your time and for sharing your insights, your inspiration. I mean, what a great story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're here.
And
We'll see you
we can
soon.
close.
See you soon. Very soon, I hope. I will.
And for everyone who tuned in today, thank you for joining us on the Real Shift Show. As a reminder, this is my beautiful co-host, Katy. I am Anna. And what do we want our audience to do?
We want to hear from you. So in the comments, let us know how Ripley inspired you. What did she say? What part of her journey made you think or pause or decide that's a shift that I want to happen in my life?
Thank you so much. And until we see you again, go ahead and go make a real shift happen. See you soon.